In this problem, we're supposed to solve an equation by factoring. So we know that the first thing we have to do is rewrite this equation so that it fits our ax squared plus bx plus c form. So I'm going to do that by subtracting 12x from both sides. So once the equation is written like this, I know that my two options are to factor it as 4x and x, concentrating on the first term times the first term being 4x squared, or it's going to factor like 2x and 2x. Now, if you observe that that this first term is really 2x times 2x, and this last term is really 3 times 3, you may sort of pick up on the hint that this may be a perfect square. It may be something times itself. And that certainly is a very likely, not likely, but it's a very common thing to see in these problem sets if you have a perfect square there and a perfect square there. So, so maybe something you want to try first. And because perfect squares have a sort of predictable form about what the outer and inner add up to, you can sort of figure it out quickly from that. I'm not really going to emphasize those special forms. I really think that everything can be done just by doing the same procedure we've been doing for the other problems, and if it happens to be a perfect square, then so be it. So, so I'll approach it this way. So when we're using that idea of sums and products, we know that it's the product needs to be the product of these two numbers. In other words, your a times your c. So we're looking for two numbers whose product is 36 and whose sum is the b number, so minus 12. So I'm looking for two numbers whose product is 36, sum is negative 6, and so the answer to that is negative 6 and negative 6. So it does look like this is going to be a perfect square. The outer and the inner should be identical, and so in this form I can do that by putting a minus 3 here. That'll give me my inner of minus 6x, and put a minus 3 here, and that'll give me the outer of minus 6x. Notice that there's no way that I could put an integer here, a whole number here, and have my outer be negative 6. So this form is not going to happen if I want to get negative 6 and negative 6 as my outer and inner terms. So this works, negative 6x inner, negative 6x outer, and if we check it with FOIL, we'll see that it really does work correctly. So that means if the product of two things is 0, that means one of the two things is 0. So either 2x minus 3 is 0, or 2x minus 3 is 0. So really it's just saying the same thing twice. So in this case there's only one solution. That'll always happen when you have a perfect square. And the solution will be 3 halves. So we should put 3 halves here in the box, and that'll be the correct answer.